I'm seeing a new paper there, and I'm wondering what it's for.
It's something, Jim.
It says
Are we live? Okay, maybe we're live. All right. If you'd like to keep the air conditioning running, and I'm fixing to go back and crank up the air conditioning, donate here. Every little bit goes to preventing us from playing Sarah McLachlan on repeat for hours.
No, not even.
If you like coffee, and who doesn't, and you may have noticed I'm not caffeinated enough, King Harv's Imperial Coffees, www.kingharv.com. Friend of ours, good guys, excellent coffee. Let them know you heard about it from us. Among the Leaves Teas, tinyurl.com/Among the Leaves Teas by a friend of ours, good guy. All sorts of, he's got over 100 patterns up. There's one you'll like. Let them know you heard about it from us. I'm going to go turn on the air conditioner.
All right. In the meantime, we do have a viable peanut gallery. Hey, Julie, Raptor, Padre, all the usual suspects are crowding in. On the good news front, the Navy sent a 4-star admiral to prison.
Coaching in my own sweat.
Admiral Robert Burke was.
What do you have, 4-star?
He was a 4-star, yeah. He was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison for bribery.
Do officers get dishonorable discharges?
Yep.
Tell me they're taking his O10 retirement. Please, God, tell me they're taking his O10 retirement.
I don't know on that. But
Was it giving or receiving?
receiving.
And giving. He gave the Navy. He gave it to the Navy.
Yeah.
Good and hard.
And on the good news front, the second piece of good news, our friend Tom Rogdenby has got a new set of short stories up called Battle Buddy. I'm very proud that I was one of the beta readers for this. It's very good stories in it, some of which will make you think, especially if you're a veteran.
Tom is a world weary cynic of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Veteran of the Cold War and cynic, and he is a very dear friend.
He wasn't there, he didn't do that, and there are no pictures.
And he'll tell a story 75 years after his death, according to the fine print on the contract.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, are there any veterans of the Cold War that are not at least a little cynical?
Haven't met one, but I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Not that I know
I'm
of.
not
Anyway.
cynical in any way.
Yeah. Cynics, us?
I'm sweetness and innocence and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to save the watch because the friggin' shoes are already brown. Anyway, veteran of the psychic wars, yes. Padre, I don't know what they're going to do with him other than send him to prison. Hopefully they will take his money.
I can't remember the last time an O10 got thumped for being stupid.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Ben, looking forward to seeing you this evening.
Woohoo!
Yep, we will be doing Pecan this weekend.
Yes, we will.
Yep.
I'll be leaving out tomorrow. I've got I have things need doing, so I'll be leaving out tomorrow. I'll get there sometime. But it's only a 2.5 hour drive for me. So
Yeah, I'll be going down this afternoon to meet up with the usual suspects for supper.
Oh, good.
Steeder has already left.
Yeah.
She just left.
Yep. Hey, Sir Brass. Interesting things are afoot.
Yeah, no kidding. The last 7 posts I did, 4 of which were about the Charlie Kirk murder, brought the morons out of the woodwork. I didn't have to ban and block this many people on blog when I was at Blogspot.
Yeah.
Starting to look like my Facebook block list.
Yeah.
Well, they're realizing that they're going to pay for it. They're trying to change the narrative before they're all canceled.
Change the narrative is beyond. They are trying to rewrite history at this point.
Well, yeah, because otherwise they know they're gone.
Yeah. And I find it absolutely hilarious that the meltdown with Kimmel getting taken off the air. And they're trying to blame Trump for that. And it was not Trump, it was Netstar.
How But I can't blame him since his attorney general got a case of the stupids.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi needs to check. She's already checked her brain, apparently. Has she actually read the Constitution?
One hopes.
What is Pam Bondi's official position in government?
Attorney General, I think.
Yeah, she's the AG.
Supposed to know the law.
One has to know the rules before one cheats at them.
Yeah.
Yes. This whole, we're going to crack down on hate speech.
Yeah, Montel Williams. He's just a star-crossed lover defending his lover. No, it doesn't work that way, Montel.
I swear to God, Pam Bondi is proof positive that peroxide causes brain damage.
Well, let's face it. There is, with any lawyer, it seems like there's this rule that while they're in law school, that they have to remove the brain and reinsert, take out all the things that are patriotic and insert a loathing of America.
Or something.
Yeah.
I'm just, somebody in the comments said the Trump administration should shut up, sit back, we got this. And they're not wrong.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that John Q. Public is now irate.
Yep.
That is really all you need to say. Because John Q. Public, when they get up on their hind legs, take care of things.
Yeah.
Either officially or unofficially. You may or may not ever see it, but things get done.
Take Trump's social media away from him for a month. Take the button away. He just needs to shut the hell up. His administration needs to shut the hell up and just stand there and nod. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
A goldfish could do it. Just stand there and nod. That's all you got to do.
Well, he should pose occasionally like the poster of it, the one where he right after he got shot, when he looked like the fierce American Eagle.
Yeah.
He should pose like that occasionally on media and say, the American people have had enough.
Forgive me, Laura. Put your fingers in your ears. You need to quit stepping on his dick.
Yeah.
Unforced errors are not good.
Yeah. Yes, Tom, that's basically what we're saying.
Yes, stand there and look pretty. It's over. Just sit there and look pretty. Just shut the fuck up.
Oh, speaking of, should have kept their mouths shut. Kamala.
We do have a lady in the room.
I know. Yeah, that's why I said what I did.
Okay.
Ted is not a lady.
I'm being polite.
Funny man.
Is that she came out and admitted in her book who she really wanted was Butt Boy
Why?
as the vice president.
Okay.
But she didn't think, quote unquote,
Butt a jig. Butt a jig.
The one that was transportation or something like
Yeah.
that.
That trans.
Yeah, the one who thought that roads were racist.
Yeah.
yeah, but she didn't think that it would work well enough.
Well, it would have worked just as well as whoever she had, because I can't remember who she had because they were non-entities.
Yes, Greg, she wanted Buttigieg.
She didn't think, and that's where the sentence ends.
Yeah. Well, she was the king of word salad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, maybe you should substitute can't for didn't.
The one that blows my mind is the fact that the SecTrans, I'm sorry, that sounds really bad. Secretary of Transportation. I can't call SecDef anymore, can I? Secretary of Transportation. When you're the boss, you're the top man on the totem pole. You don't get bad days or days off. When you're the boss, you don't get to take days off. You don't get to wander off away from your phone. And the POTUS had a crap ton of officials that apparently forgot that they were the boss, and that really annoys me. I forget how many times that little poofter announced that he was on paternity leave or something and couldn't handle an issue that popped up.
Oh, that was when he was on vacation overseas.
And you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
When if you are a cabinet person, not having days off, when you're at the top, trust me, been there. When you're at the top, you don't get days off anymore.
Well, he wasn't the top; he was the bottom.
He's the top of Department of Transportation.
But at home, he was the bottom.
But didn't Department of Transportation have an auto pin that they could have put in charge?
Right?
Yeah, probably done a better job because he did not run. Well, he did run South Bend into the ground,
And into a wall.
taking money that was budgeted for road improvements to change, I believe, 2 or 3 downtown streets into bike lanes,
Which South Bend
Woo!
did not need.
which, yeah, they did not need, and increase the traffic congestion by by at least 100 to 150 feet, 150%. Yeah.
I don't know where I picked up the habit of SEC and then abbreviated title. SEC, DEF, SEC, state.
Because that's what
SEC
we've
trans.
always said in the military.
I don't know where I picked that up.
It's in the military.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just sitting here, my brain squirrels ricocheting off the inside of my head, and
Yeah.
I went, "Hey, why do we say that?"
Well, because, it's got to call them something. And most of what you want to call the various members of the government, you're not allowed to say while you're in uniform.
Fair point.
I do remember we had one poor guy, not my squadron, but I knew him, that made the mistake of ending up in a picture at a political rally.
Oh dear. Was he in uniform?
He was in uniform,
Oh, dumbass.
but he was picking up his wife.
dumbass.
So he was not actually, he didn't attend the rally, wasn't in the rally,
Yeah, picture.
but that picture fingered him.
Yep.
And he got hauled up on charges.
Yeah. That bad old days that happened.
And it took him a couple of months to get that sorted out.
He's lucky he got it sorted out.
Yeah, well, enough people were able to say he could not have been there because he was at work, including 3 of the officers. And I think one of them was the XO, who said, no, he was still at work.
The thing,
He left work to go pick his wife up.
the thing that was hammered into my head, both in the Army and in various law enforcement agencies, if you show up at anything political or anything religious in uniform, you are giving an air of legitimacy that whatever agency your uniform represents endorses what's going on.
Yeah.
Just I'm there multiple times that if I was going somewhere I went into DC one time and they made me change. The only thing I changed into was my PT uniform.
Yeah.
I had a gray shirt with Army across from it, and they made me go over to I was flat ordered to go over to a sports shop and buy a shirt.
Mm-hmm. Don't care what, as long as it doesn't say Army.
Okay, do not give the impression that the Army or Buck Scuffle SO or Wichita SO or whatever endorses what's being said.
Yeah.
If you're from the government, you're neutral in all things.
No matter how much you may hate the current incumbent.
If you hate the current incumbent, you bloody well go home, change into civilian clothes, and then go. Just don't ever do it in anything that smacks of. You just don't.
Oh, well, Sir Brass, that is the Air Force. That's typical. Buddy had an Air Force pilot that the IG commanding general sided with him, saying his CO illegally discriminated against him and unlawfully tried to administratively separate him. Yeah. That happens in the Air Force quite a bit.
I've never been there. So.
I knew enough people that were prior Air Force, ex-Air Force, that I worked with at various agencies that had stories
when I was, this was the dark ages of the 1980s.
Yeah.
It started, my platoon sergeant went up to CSM. You will not, and it was hammered into our heads. You will not go to anything political or any, no, nothing in uniform.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
Don't wear anything with work logos outside of work, much less official work clothes. Yep. That is the smartest way to do it. Yep.
What I used to drive me nuts is there is no point if you go into a bar and you find people in their fatigue uniforms. That used to drive me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
But National Guard would do it all the time.
That's National Guard.
I mean, the only thing less military than the chair force is the National Guard.
Coast Guard.
No, the Coast Guard's actually pretty sure.
Yeah, Coast Guard. Okay, you could rag on any service you want to, including the Army, and I won't disagree with you.
I'm just saying that the Coast Guard that I've worked with they've known their jobs. They've been hella military. They've been good at what they do and are flat scary. They're also not exactly uniform sharp.
Well, all I can say is the ones that I knew in the aviation side of the house were sharp.
Right.
Of course, they were out of Kodiak, and so they had their shit together.
the ones
They were the only ones that ever rescued anybody.
Oh yeah.
the ones that I have met, let's just say that in the Army, you think you clank when you walk. In the Coast Guard, most people think they clank when they walk.
The reason I say this is there was a Coast Guard cutter out of Galveston when I was down there, and they were headed out into one of the hurricanes. Everybody else coming in, Coast Guard going out.
Yeah.
In a smaller boat than most everybody else. And I noticed the guy, I guess the helmsman, had Mickey Mouse ears on his helmet. And there was a guy with brass standing right next to him. It's like, do you see the Mickey Mouse ears? And I asked, and somebody said, it's Coast Guard. Don't worry about it.
If you're when you're doing that stupid of stuff,
and
you're that ballsy, you can have a little fun with it.
Yeah. Like I say,
Well,
don't get me
it's
wrong,
like
I love them to death, but
it's like the NOAA folks that fly into the hurricanes. A lot of them are XP3 Navy pilots, but it's a job. And yes, it gets a little funky. Yes, there are strange things sitting on the glare shield in the cockpit occasionally that may or may not show up in a video if they haven't bounced off the glare shield yet. But everybody accepts that.
the Coasties, they're special operations guys, and yes, Coast Guard has special operations. They have intelligence folks too.
Yeah.
The reason you don't know that shows how good they are. But the special operations guys frequently did a tours of Navy SEALs and went over Coast Guard to tell you how. But I saw one. They came up to train with us, and there's nothing like watching a Coast Guard LE-det going through the shoot house and realizing the lead guy has a pair of, on his M4 on the front rail, has a scrotum.
Yeah.
And the guys behind him didn't seem to care. I'm just saying.
It may have been collected from somebody somewhere. Yeah. I remember going out. We were headed out to the bombing range one time off Charleston, and we were poking along at 180 knots, look out the window, and there's a Coast Guard H-3 sitting on the water, blades lazily turning. So tell the pilot, hey, let's go see if they got a problem. So we spiral down, call them up on the common frequency. Hey, you guys need any help? No, you guys go away. You're scaring the fish. Come back around. Sure enough, there are fishing poles sticking out the side hatch. They were out there fishing. And I later talked to one of the crewmen that was on the bird, and he goes, Yeah, we were having a good day till you fuckers showed up.
Like I said, they are high speed, low drag, damn good at what they do. They clank when they walk, but their uniform regulations are a little looser than I'm used to.
Yes, they do have federal powers. They are.
Yeah. They are federal agents.
They
Or
are
at least the officers are.
what is called an LE debt, law enforcement debt, that is put on a Navy ship, so that when they do intercept a drug runner, they can go over and federally arrest them. They are also the ones that pioneered the VBSS,
They're damn good at vehicle boarding, search, and seizure. They're damn good at it. They do it every day.
Now, I got to say though, it takes a large set to jump on a semi-submersible
Yell, open up.
and go
Coast
up
Guard, open up.
and clang on the hatch. Yes. That is correct, Sir Brass.
Yeah.
They are Coast Guard.
Also, there's FIBIs and Federal Bureau of Investigation and United States Marshal Service, or were over there. So everybody getting arrested was a federal agent of some kind, either a marshal, a Phoebe, or Coast Guard, or
Tom,
any other number of.
the Coasties are actually pissed because they're not getting to play in that. That's being done by the Navy and Marine Corps. But yes, that is a new way of intercepting drug runners.
Intercepting in the old school.
Yes.
Another one?
Oh God.
Apparently, another coastie jumped on a sub and started pounding on the hatch. Told him to open up. Search warrant.
Since Tom is on here,
That gives pull over a whole new meaning.
yeah. Well, it's better than the option.
which is shoot them.
One of the funnier ones, talking about drug runners, we had this boat that ONR built called an M class, and it was an M hull boat. Because we're looking at what hull forms worked well in what kind of water conditions. And an M hull the reason it's called an M hull, it looks like an M. So it's not a swath, not a small water plane area twin hull. Anyway, we built this thing. It was 60 some odd feet long, and it would do 50 knots in pretty much any sea state. So we finished our testing with it, started looking around to find somebody that wanted to play with it. Turns out the Army wanted it.
Army's got a pretty big Navy.
So this Army warrant showed up to take over, and he was asked, well, do you have any experience at sea? He goes, yeah. He said, my family owns tuna boats. Oh, okay, have fun. So they start playing with it, and they get down in the Caribbean with it. And this Army warrant got a couple of coasties to ride along with him. And they were chasing down cigarette boats, fast boats, pulling up alongside of them, matching speed with them, and basically giving them a pullover sign. And they got quite a few fast boats. The only problem was then they had to drag them back into port. And they were going, can we just sink the fucking things? Be done with it? Because they're going to be turned around and sold again. No. If you bring them in, we can sell them. We know who bought them, and we know where they're going to be next. Yeah, Rick, it did have a rather interesting seakeeping capability.
Well, you were talking about the guy that was pounding on the hatch of the submarine.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
If I'm on a submarine, there's somebody pounding on the hatch. Well, everybody thinks, well, we could just submerge and the guy washes away.
Those things aren't designed to submerge.
They're semi-submersible.
Hatch only above the water.
But thing about it is, even if it was a true submersible,
Yeah.
I would not want to be in the boat that someone has just demanded entrance
Yeah.
and left. And what did he leave me for a Christmas package?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that can get interesting. The first confirm.
Boat's sinking. Yep, it's sinking.
Yeah, the A-10s need a little bit longer legs to do that, though.
When I was in 4-5 Bravo school, which is smaller specialist gunsmithing school back in the day, when we got the 242 Bushmaster, we were informed that the Coast Guard and the Navy were running Bushmasters
Yeah.
on some of the mid-sized boats.
Yep.
And on the Army version, you could spin the rheostat up to 300 shots per minute, not rounds per minute, shots per minute. What's the difference? I don't know. However, you dial it to 300. If you got the rheostat that the Coast Guard was using, it went up a little higher than 300. Like, why does the Coast Guard need to fire? Don't ask. Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep the Coast Guard rheostats off the Bradley.
Yeah, those went on PHMs in the Navy. The patrol hydrofoils. We had one of our kids took orders to one of them, and he was the first class when he went over there. Came back a chief and said he loved it.
I'll bet.
He said that was the most fun I have had in the Navy, because the PHMs used a jet engine, a J79 jet engine. So he had his own seat for control the jet engine. He said, I got to play with everything I ever wanted to play with. He said, and I made that boat go fast.
It's like there used to be a riverboat that back in Vietnam that used basically a turbine that was swivelable and was mounted under the boat for
Jacuzzi. That was the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Jacuzzi drive. Jet drives.
And I wonder why they got rid of them, because I know at one point they had gotten rid of them.
They got rid of them for two reasons. One is they could jam, and there was a lot of seaweed over there. And the second reason was the salt water would corrode the pump to the point that the impeller would quit working. It would just spin blades off.
All right, Liz. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
I know that on jet drives on fishing boats, on freshwater fishing boats, they're great for river because there's nothing that sticks down below the hull. But if you suck anything like a rock or a fish or wood chunk, dead body, whatever, in the impeller, it's a very, very expensive fix that cannot happen on the lake.
Yeah. Yeah. Gun trucks in Vietnam, the most C-430 ever.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, actually, that goes back to at least World War II, if not before.
Let the E4s have a gun truck.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture of an Army truck, the World War II version of a Deuce and a Half on the Red Ball Express, which, for those of you who don't know, Red Ball Express was primarily African-American drivers.
Yep.
And apparently they was tired of getting shot at. And they had scavenged somehow a quad 50.
Yep.
And had somehow managed to jury rig that thing onto the cab of a World War II era. And I'm pretty sure they never fired it.
No, they fired it.
Well, it was pintle mounted. So my question when I saw that was always, where the hell did the pintle mount? Because if it mounted to the frame, it might have stayed on.
E4s.
Well, Korea, when they did the run in the north of 38th parallel, they did it with gun trucks, which were basically 2.5 tons with concrete filled 55-gallon barrels, and my deuces hanging off every corner of them.
Can you imagine being a German partisan, jump in this convoy and jump out, yelling, "Blah!" and there's a quad 50 looking at you?
Yeah. Well, almost as stupid as the sniper that tried to shoot the tank
Yeah.
in Fallujah. And the tank basically went, huh? Boom. And the whole building went crunch.
But you can shoot a tank.
Oh yeah, once.
Well, you can shoot a tank successfully.
Yeah.
But you'd better be looking. You'd better have that golden BB loaded.
Yeah.
The tanks, God bless them. I'm sort of fond of treadheads. I was cavalry, not armor. There's a difference. Armor, aka treadheads, they're I love them to death. They ain't too smart. Scouts are much smarter than armor.
The infantry would beg to disagree.
The M1s, bless their hearts, come with something they call a beehive round.
Yeah.
Which,
It's a shotgun shell for a tank.
yeah, it's 1,100 tungsten cubes.
Yeah.
And when it fires, it kills everything downrange that's unarmored.
And
David
some of the
Drake.
stuff that's armored.
David Drake, bless his heart, the first panel I ever had to do officially, he referred to beehive rounds as dial-a-dink.
They were.
Nothing like it. I love a TOT with beehives. It's you don't like this grid square. You don't like that grid square. You don't like all the ones around it. Do a TOT.
Well,
yeah.
It's better than having a 16-inch gun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here to tell you, if you want to rain hate on a grid square, and for those of you who don't know, a grid square is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is 1 square kilometer. It's a lot of meters. And you've got the MLRS battery downrange.
Yeah.
Don't get the MLRS and the tube mixed up. MLRS will delete your grid square happily. They'll put a grenade every yard.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Personally, I would go with for Spooky.
When
3,000
you're out
rounds.
there, from what I understand, you get whatever you can get.
Whatever's available.
Yeah.
That's
And if you can get all three, even better.
that's what happened in Iraq. Was somebody was in trouble, started yelling for help, gets a unit, doesn't understand doesn't have the unit designator on his CEOI, says I need time on target, and went okay, but duck.
Yeah.
And a MLRS battery turned the entire grid square into spaghetti.
Tom says, I want to see the BM21 is CNR eligible. Oh,
I like the way you think, Tom. For those of you who don't know, Tom's got a new anthology out you should buy.
yes, we had already talked about
Yeah,
that.
but I don't know if he was on when we talked about it.
Called Battle Buddies.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, 644 clusters.
Yeah.
Little cluster bombs. There's a grenade about every square foot.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
you've got 12 rockets per launcher and 4 launchers per battery,
Yeah, I think so.
4 or 9, and they all cut loose. And then your grid square goes away.
I still like Spooky though.
Spooky was nice.
7.62 miniguns, 3 of them.
Spooky was nice, but like I said, if you're the guy out there in the field,
Yeah.
you want the Spooky and the MLRS and the TOT with the beehive rounds, and
USS Iowa on standby.
Well, Iowa was easy. You want what? Okay. Danger close. Okay, for y'all, that's 1,000 yards. Their accuracy at 26 miles was 100 yards.
Which
But-
is kind of scary.
You're talking about 2,700 pounds of explosives. So that's a large boom.
Apparently, Richard is familiar with MLRS
Yeah.
batteries. So it's 36 rockets coming down. Each one of those rockets having 644 bomblets.
Yep.
Ugh.
and it warms the cockles of an infantryman's heart.
Just before it shreds everything downrange.
That's what warms the cockles of an infantryman's heart.
Well, the friend of mine was a Marine in Vietnam, was stuck on a hill, And they needed a little support because the company was getting hit by what they estimated was a VC battalion. And they were starting to come up the hill. So they called for air support. Now, the Marines had a rather interesting way of doing air support in Vietnam. They would load whatever airplane was available with Mark 84s, with snakes, retard fins, whatever they could get their hands on. And they would basically what we said, cocked and locked them. So they were on a 5-minute alert to be in the air. Well, they were somewhere up by the DMZ and got a call. Weather was crap. Air Force did not show up. So here come the Marine F4s. And no, Kermit, well, there was probably a snake or two that got drafted inadvertently because they like to wrap around the warm bombs. So he said he's about halfway up this hill, which is maybe 400 or 500 feet high. And they hear this noise and they can't figure out what it is over the gunfire. And he said the next thing he notices is something going by very fast underneath him in the valley. And all of a sudden there's this explosion. And he goes, "What was that?" And apparently the RM heard him and said, "Oh, the Marines F4s are here." So he started looking and saw another one coming up out of the fog, or coming down out of the fog into the valley, rolling up on a wing. And he said, "I'm not saying the son bitch was close, but I could tell he was blue-eyed and needed a shave." And he said he put 2 rounds of napalm down and cleared our entire sector. So then we moved around the other side of the hill, and 2 more guys came in with 500 pounders and cleared that side of the hill. And he said, all of a sudden, we didn't have any more VC to shoot at.
Because the ones on the other 2 sides of the hill were leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the F4 Rhino, Phantom 2. Proof that given sufficient thrust, even a brick can fly.
Yes. And they flew them well.
But there were a lot of, I was always fond of Puck. There were a lot of good aircraft back in the day.
Yeah.
I have a great deal of fondness for the OV-10 Bronco. I talk about a combat SUV. That thing was. I wish they'd update and bring it back. That OV-10 Bronco was fantastic fun.
Yeah. One of my former P3 pilots used to fly them in Vietnam was Val 4, the Black Ponies. He sadly ended up committing suicide because he had Agent Orange and got cancer.
Yeah.
But he said that was the most enjoyable flying he got to do in the military.
A-10 is the only, or the OV-10 is the only plane I know of that can, when you need to move, can pack up its entire ground crew in the back and fly where it needs to go.
And also drop paratrooper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You know how it drops paratrooper?
Yeah. They take the back hatch off of it, load 4 guys in there in a seated position.
Nut to butt, put a canvas strap across.
Yep.
And when it's time to drop, you unhook one side of the canvas strap, and the OV-10 climbs, and you slide out.
Yep. It works. Works well.
I'm afraid that if I were in that position, I'd be sliding out easier than the other guys because I'd be sliding on something smooth and brown. And
the lead guy is hanging his feet off and with just a canvas strap.
Yeah, Richard, that's not surprising.
I still love the OV-10.
Yeah. It was a specially designed airplane that, much like the Bumblebee, technically could not fly because the wings weren't long enough.
Okay, we've already proven with the F4 that if you put a big enough
enough,
engine,
enough thrust, even a brick can fly.
But they were designed by Fairchild to meet a specific requirement. And the original design, or at least what they thought they were getting, was a single seat, single engine airplane. Fairchild can't, two engines, pylons, very rugged landing gear, make it where it can land anywhere. And it could land on the side of a hill because the gear was that flexible. Yeah, Kermit, that is still happening. A friend of mine, Ken Schreiner, passed away a number of years ago. 2 weeks after he passed away, his wife finally got the letter that said he was being killed by Agent Orange. Yeah, the world said, "Oh, impossible." The U.S. said, "Oh, my beer."
Yep.
Yeah. No, the Blues never flew Tomcats. They wasn't for availability. It was the fact that they had gone from A4s to from F4s to A4s. Once they got out of the F4 was a good bird, but there was definitely a power requirement issue. And if an F4 lost power, you had an issue.
It was a brick with thrust.
Yeah.
The acrobatic teams do a lot of this. When you put enough thrust on a brick, it does this. It doesn't do this.
Yeah. Also, the F-14, the Turkey, is a large airplane. A lot of people don't realize how big the F-14 actually is.
So turkeys can fly.
Yes, turkeys can fly.
Which, if you've ever been turkey hunting, it can be a bit of a surprise when
Yeah.
bowling balls start landing out of the sky.
Yeah.
Because turkeys like to roost in trees at night because it's relatively safe up there.
Yeah.
So, if you are going to your little hide to set up to ambush a turkey and you're not looking, or it's still pretty dark, which it should be, and you blow a turkey call and a bowling ball crashes out of the sky in front of you, you might miss your shot.
But one of the funnier things at the air shows, especially at Miramar back in the day, was I always do the refueling demo. So the first pass in front of the crowd would be an A6 with an F-14 hooked to it at 500 feet flying by the crowd in an angle bank. And they would go off and then they'd come back. And now the F-14 is fueling the A6 as it flies by. And everybody's going, The A6 could give up all its fuel. The F-14 could not. But
In flight,
anything,
giving up all your fuel seems just like a bad idea to me.
well, it's even the KC-135s can do it.
Seems like a bad idea.
Well, depends on what you're trying to get back home.
Everybody, if you give up all your fuel,
Yeah, F-16s, F-15s are Boyd's children. That's right.
Well,
The problem with the F-14 is it is just so large. Yeah, it could do all the fancy aerobatics, but it doesn't have the nimbleness, and I'll use that term, that the F-18 had, which is more like the A-4.
and again, the F4 is not nimble.
No.
It's a brick with thrust. It go one way, it go one direction really well.
For anybody that's ever been to Moffett back in the day, we had two large hangars. Hangar 1, which until the VAB was built was the largest structure without internal support in the world. And across the two runways, you had Hangar 1 and Hangar 3, or Hangar 2 and Hangar 3. I have watched an F-18 do a complete 360-degree turn below the level of the two hangars. That is mind-blowing, because that's pulling about 8 or 9 Gs in that small an area to make that turn.
Anywho, let's see what else we got.
Oh, well,
Tom's book's coming out. Oh, Planks and Plunder from Raptor Press is coming out. Should be live. I think it's Planks and Plunder, isn't it?
Yes, and it is.
As he looks at one of his editors because he frankly doesn't know.
It is live.
It is live. Okay.
Yeah.
According to my editor, it is live. Jim's got what do you have coming out?
right now, nothing. working on RimWorld. I've been putting a few snippets up and getting a few interesting comments on the blog and the Substack about them. The library anthology, Library Creatures, whatever that creature may be, is due the end of September. That's a benefit for our local Tom Burnett Library here in Wichita or in Iowa Park. Merck's closes this weekend.
Yes, Mark's Jonna, because she's not sane, will be she's at the con, and Saturday morning at the con she'll be sending out contracts for Merck's. So Ted, what you got coming out?
I'm going to put together an anthology of 10 short stories before the end of the year.
You don't write, you're an editor, right?
Yeah.
That's what I heard last night. Okay.
Now, there is going to be an anthology come out sometime in the next couple of months, provided I can do anything.
Yeah.
It's going to be a family anthology. Me, my wife, my brother, and my sister-in-law.
Good.
What we're going to call it, what the stories are going to be, well, anything we can produce, I think. That's certainly the case with me and my sister-in-law. We're neither one of us writers.
Jesse, you got 2 weeks. Get to work.
I am working on a science fiction storybook.
Good.
Contracts, Kermit. Contracts.
And let's see. Nick and Mike are already at Pecan. Ted and Laura will be heading that away today, tomorrow. Jim will be heading there pretty quick.
Yep.
I'll be heading down there tomorrow. It's only a 2.5 hour drive, 2.5 hour drive from me. So I'll be leaving in the morning. Kelly Grace will be there. We've got quite a few folks in the group will be there. Y'all need to come by and say hi.
Oh, I don't want to go.
Okay. Y'all need to come by and say hi. A lot of good folks.
Yeah.
Decent little con. Going to be confusing because I'm still not sure what panels I'm on.
We don't have a schedule yet.
Which is perfectly okay for me because, like I was telling Cedar earlier, my approach to panels on cons is shoot the tequila and say, let's start this puppy.
Yeah. Pecan, yes.
I do better if I don't have any preparation, quite honestly. But some people need the preparation. So
A pecan is something that you use at night in the corner.
pecan is something long distance truckers frequently use. It frequently resembles an empty Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, 32 ouncer.
Yeah, empty Gatorade bottle.
Cyber Luddite, sorry, you won't make it. It's always next year.
Jason Cordova from Bain will be there. And hopefully I hope he's doing an announcement on the Monster Hunter Files 2 anthology that I've got a story in, and Nick and Mike have a story in. So hopefully he'll be doing an announcement there. That'll be sweet.
LibertyCon room block opens up at
On Tuesday.
Yes.
And LibertyCon is going to be fun this year. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff going to come out of LibertyCon. People are going to thoroughly enjoy it. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, I'm hoping I can make this year's.
I hope you can make this year's too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to make it too because, well, but that all depends on what the wife says because she doesn't think I'm good at traveling.
Yep. The room block opens Tuesday at noon Eastern.
And which is weird for somebody who literally grew up traveling. I'm not good at traveling anymore. There's people and they suck.
Well, there's people and they suck, and there's a heart that doesn't.
Yeah, point. Ian being all plotty again. I'm always plotting. How long have you known me?
Yeah.
Two things you know about me. One, I'm always plotting. Two, I never do anything with with on a single result intended.
Yeah.
That's doing something with only a single result expected is wasteful. It's inefficient. I hate it.
3 buys chloroform by the 55-gallon drum.
Yeah. Jesse Barrett's on here. You can
Yeah.
ask him what chloroform smells like.
He does not buy chloroform by 55-gallon drum anymore. Our park is on a railway. You can get the tanker car.
Yes, people are stupid and they make choices that affect everyone else forever. Very true. One thing we really didn't talk about, but I think, well, we did kind of mention
We got plenty of time.
is the left's absolute meltdown over Kimmel. And it's the loss of First Amendment rights. No, he's still free to say what he wants to say wherever he wants to say.
As long as the government wasn't involved, as long as the FCC wasn't involved, First Amendment doesn't play
Which
into
they
this.
were not.
Doesn't play into this. He got fired for being stupid. I hate to break it to the leftists, but if you're stupid, the people you work for, if your stupidity affects them, they are perfectly in their rights to fire your dumbass.
Yeah. And it wasn't Disney pulling them, it was Netstar refusing to air them, which is a difference because Netstar is a provider for cable. So that was what actually happened.
He had his ratings were in the tank. He ran his mush about somebody that was a hot button and apparently was asked not to do it. Ran his cock holster, pardon me, sorry. Ran his mush anyway.
Yep.
And got fired. Oh, noes.
Yeah.
Here come the consequences of my own actions.
This was after, what was it, last year? 18 months ago. He said, if you're a Trump supporter, don't watch my show. I don't want you to watch it. Okay, fine. I hadn't watched him in years anyway, so I don't
I've
really
never
care.
watched. I don't watch TV, so I've never watched him. But the late night shows, him notwithstanding, the late night shows the ratings are in the tank. They suck. People aren't watching late night anymore. And if a company is losing money on the late night show, they're gonna turf you off.
Yep.
And if you give them excuse, they'll turf you off that much quicker.
Jesse brings up a good point. Pecan also has a book out
Oh yeah.
called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Pecan.
Yep.
And it is a benefit anthology for Pecan with some very, very good authors.
Liz is in there. She was on here earlier. It's to benefit Pecan because cons are apparently expensive to run. I'll never find out because I refuse to ever host a con. But they need the money, so buy the book.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Not a con.
Television ratings are in the tank across the board. Late night is worse. Yes.
Yeah.
Late night stopped being funny years ago.
If
To
you're
me, anyway.
if you're the reason, well, I watched a clip. Reed and I were watching a clip last night on YouTube from Carson.
Yeah.
And he was talking about late night comedians. They're not being paid to bring up the serious stuff. They're being paid to be comedians. Stop bringing up serious stuff. And the reason Carson went out on top of the heap.
Well, and who was the one? Colbert, losing $40 million a year.
If you're hemorrhaging money for a network, guess what?
Yeah.
Look at the flowers.
Carson made money.
Leno apparently made money.
Leno made money. Letterman made money for a while,
Yeah, but not.
and then Letterman got funky.
Yeah.
Which is why he left.
Look at the flowers.
Craig Ferguson made money for a while.
Ferguson made
Of course,
money for
he was
a while.
also funny.
Well, and he was much more about jokes than he was about doing.
And he was, and bless his heart, he was actually willing to talk to actually talk to people instead of talk at people.
Yeah, Alan, you're not the only one.
Kimmel and what's the other ass weasel? the one that just got turfed.
Hell, I just said his name.
Colbert.
Colbert.
They wanted to talk at people,
Yeah.
not to people. They want to talk at them.
Fallon canceled an event he was at after that, so I wonder what he was going to say.
They can be taught.
I would say Carson and Leno were good. Padre.
Carson was the king, the undisputed king.
Actually, Arsenio Hall was not bad.
Never watched him.
He
Wasn't successful, but he wasn't bad.
Tom Snyder was not good because he would talk at people. But the one thing about Tom Snyder, which I remember, was that he had a reputation because they do what are called bumpers, which is where they do the station identification for the local stations, is that he could read 30 or 40 of them on a break for a commercial and
Oh, wow.
get every one of them perfect.
Oh wow.
All those years as a newsman doing the same thing.
All those years as a newsman, yeah. So he would just start rattling them off, and they would record them and then cut them in.
I will say one thing.
Bless you.
Recent events, and by recent events I mean the last 7 entries on my blog. I'm upgrading my. I didn't think I'd have to do this, but I'm upgrading my everyday carry again. Thought I was happy. No, morons.
Yeah, Don's right. Always someone in the dream of being an investigative journalist with the connections and to have a minor talk show. The last one, the one that I always remember was Flip Wilson
Geraldine.
because of Geraldine, because of an interview that he did years ago that I remember watching, where he said, he was asked, why did he create Geraldine? He said, I created Geraldine because Geraldine could say things I could never get away with.
Yep.
And he said, there is nobody going to talk back to a black mother. And I got to thinking about it, and that was true. I mean, friends that had black nannies, I'm going to tell you, you did not talk back to those ladies ever, because they would beat your butt. Your mother would beat your butt. If a neighbor caught you, they'd beat your butt. And then you got your butt beat 3 times.
Getting back to EDC, I've been carrying. Most times you see me, I've got a 22 or a 380 in my pocket. And if Rita was going to go buy something at 2 in the morning in a Walmart parking lot, yes, don't ask. I'd get the Glock 48 out. I had a Glock 48. Still do love it. I'm gonna fix and buy myself a Glock 19. I need more ammo, and that sucks. Freaking sucks.
Yeah, I like my 45. It's old, slow, and fat, just like I am, but it works.
Nope.
Yeah.
There was. I don't know if they
Works
still
for
do.
Jeff Donovan too. Good point, Greg.
There's a African American church in Electra back when I was there that would do and it's out of a house.
Yeah.
They've got a house on the wrong side of the tracks that they turned into this lovely little church. And the kitchen's still there. So they would have benefit. Oh my God, the benefits. And they would feed people. And they would get out there the day before and start cooking.
Yep.
And then you'd show up and you pay the money, you take what they gave you. One, that was the best food I ever had. And 2, when I was a sprog and I acted up, I caught if you never caught a ring on the back of the head,
yeah,
a Southern black grandmother is a black belt with a ring tap.
Yeah.
Up your skull like a watermelon.
Yeah, exactly.
How about shaking the brain pudding up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise a knot in the back of my head.
Caring and sharing, yes.
I'm not a big fan of the Shield Arms mags because they're not as One, you have to change out the mag catch in your Glock because the mag catch in Glock is plastic, polymer, and the shield arms is metal, so it will wear on the mag catch.
Yeah.
Which makes me nervous because the mag catch is what holds your magazine in your weapon, and if a mag catch wears out because of the metal wearing on it, the magazine falls out at inopportune moments.
Yep.
And second, it's not as I like Glock OEM mags and I like Magpul Glock mags. I don't like anything else.
Yeah, no P320s. Yes.
No, they don't know about the ring. You'd be running your mouth, 9-year-old running around being a 9-year-old, and you'd get a little bratty, and somebody's grandma would turn the ring around so that that massive setting and pow on the back of your head, and you straightened up right after that because the stars would go off and you'd bite your tongue.
Yeah, Dan, 365s are apparently good pistols.
Yeah.
I do not own SIGs. I don't like SIGs. That's a personal thing with me. Hate it when your device is converted to an unwieldy club. Yes.
Peter gave me a Palmetto Arms 15-round Glock 48 mag that's got a polymer insert where the mag catch goes. I haven't gotten tested out yet, but if I'm going to carry 15 rounds, I might as well just get a Glock 19.
Yeah.
They're designed for 15-round magazines. And it annoys me that I'm having to go back to I carried a Glock 19 my last decade of law enforcement. It annoys me I'm having to go back to Glock 19.
Yeah. The other thing is, whatever you have, carry it.
These days, yeah.
If your pistol is going to be a club, a High Point does it better.
No kidding. It's like a brick in a sock. Only.
Yeah. There is, yeah, just not going there. Anyway, folks, it's Thursday, so weekend coming up. Have a good weekend. Be safe. If you're down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, come by and see us.
Come by Pecan.
Yeah.
And Don, he already is.
Yeah.
The reason I'm not going to P365 XL is Gunsmith Joe told me that he works on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Which, no. It's a Glock. It's a brick.
And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Y'all be safe.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.